Unfortunately, not the video where I hit 300. I just barely didn't succeed. I really needed a 10 out of 10 day, which it wasn't.
You may think he's a sleepy type guy, always takes his time. Soon I know you'll be changing your role. When you've seen him, you go down, boy. When you've seen him, use his gun.
Alright guys, welcome to the final push to a 300 kilogram total, and also my attempt to upload on a weekly basis. I originally planned after the 300 kilogram attempt to just start a new training block, train for another 5 to 6 weeks, taper, check off the 300 kilogram total, make a video about it, and everything will be fine. But I built up so much fatigue over, I think, honestly, the last couple of years where I never took a break, and then also this brutal competition season and this brutal max out session, that I started a training block and I was so fatigued. It was crazy. It was like never before in my life was I that fatigued. Not only could I barely walk, not because of joint pain, but because of systemic fatigue, and also my quads and lower back were so tight and so fatigued, it was crazy. But also like my psychological state and my normal day-to-day life got such a big hit by being so fatigued. It was honestly insane. So yeah, I decided to take a bit of rest, which I usually don't do, and yeah, I feel a lot better now. The reason that I usually don't take these off seasons, although it's usually normal in Olympic weightlifting to do that, is because I think I still have this mindset of being a 16-year-old gym rat. The version of myself who found strength training was not someone who wanted to become a Olympic weightlifting athlete and follow this stringent training regime, but just, living in the gym and training all year long hard. And I just adapted this always to Olympic weightlifting, and it did work great up to this point. Yeah. But I just took a full week off and then another 2 weeks where I just trained very little. And this session here was the first real planned training session again. Of course, I was a bit rusty, but it was honestly better than I imagined it to be. I did 4 sets of triples at 100 kilograms in the snatch. Yeah, my first pull is a bit weird because I lift the bar a bit weirdly around my knee, but I will try to make this better the next couple of times. And then I did 4 sets of 1 clean plus 2 jerks up to 135. Yeah, which also was better than I thought it would be. So yeah. And coming back to the other topic, I then thought, hey, when I now start the next training block, maybe instead of just training through it and make one video where I hopefully achieve the goal of a 300 kilogram total, maybe I could make a weekly series about this and show you all highs and lows. And yeah, it would be cool, of course, if this series ended in a 300 kilogram total. And yeah, I will just try to bring you along the way and I will film all my working sets, I think. Don't worry, I will not always film all my warm-ups, etc. And I think in the upper body accessories stuff, I will just film 1 to 2 sets, so I think then it's better to watch than, yeah. And then I did one top set, a double in the front squat with 155. I will try to build momentum in this top set over the next couple of weeks. There is this set on Monday, and on Friday is another, I call it a momentum set in the back squat. And all the other squats during the week are basically just to feed these top sets so they can grow over the weeks. Yeah, and I did 3 back offs of triples, and that was Monday. On Tuesday, I only do upper body stuff. I start with close grip lat pull downs with this Mac grip. And after that, I did a double in the overhead press with 90 kilograms and then 4 back off sets of 5 with 80 kilograms. The reason I do upper body training is not only will it also probably just straight up helps me with the Olympic lifts, it also helps me with my shoulder pain. So when I usually skip these upper body sessions, I develop more shoulder pain. And to be honest, also I'm just not this puristic Olympic weightlifter who only cares about the snatch and the clean and jerk. I don't try to diversify my portfolio, I try to diversify my joy in the gym. And you know, this is just my style of training. If you want to be a puristic weightlifter, this is also completely cool and completely fine, but I just realized I also love these other strength training exercises, and I love to progress in them and feel good about myself and be happy when I hit a PR. You know, the back and front squat are just also for me super important exercises where I'm honestly the same level of happiness than when I hit a snatch and a clean and jerk PR. And overhead press, pull-ups, bench press also is all part of the equation for me and just keeps me motivated to go in the gym. And I just love lifting weights, and of course everything circles around the snatch and the clean and jerk, but that doesn't mean that I can't have fun with other exercises too. On Wednesday I did a little complex that consisted of 2 snatches and 2 overhead squats. I did 2 sets at 100 and 2 sets at 105. And honestly, the snatches were easier for me than the overhead squats. I'm just super bad at overhead squats, and the worst exercise for me in all of weightlifting are snatch balances. I really feel like when I stand there after the second snatch and I want to go to the descent, how the bar is just in front, and I really have to concentrate to keep it like in the midpoint of my body. And it's also very difficult for me to keep the arms locked out. But overall I was quite happy with these sets, and also that the doubles at 105 were that easy was pretty cool for me, especially after the Monday training where I also missed a triple with 100, and it was also sometimes close to missing. Yeah, and sorry about this angle. The training hall is originally for fencing, and my homie asked the owner if he could use the other half of the hall to put some weightlifting equipment in, which, as you can see, completely escalated. But yeah, they basically started a training session of fencing directly behind me, so I had to put the camera outside and film through the door. And yeah, so again, about the weightlifting gym here, my homie and I also thought about maybe doing a little gym tour, showing you the different kind of plates, how he restored these vintage plates, what barbells he has, and just some stories about the purchases, which are sometimes a little crazy and cool. So if you're interested in that, you can leave a comment, and I will try to produce this video. And yeah, so the people were fencing directly behind me, and this is not an excuse, but it is what it is. But it threw me a little off. I lost a bit of focus, and I also didn't want to annoy them with loud feet, and tried to set my feet a bit more silent, which is also a bit dumb. But yeah, so the 144 triples in the jerk were not ideal, but I still got the work done. And after that I did no belt, no sleeves, paused squats. You could probably also call them Clarence Kennedy squats. I really like to do them because I like to have a bit of a higher frequency in the squat. And yeah, in this variation there's basically a built-in feature of load management, and in my mind, if I progress in this variation, of course it will have a effect or a direct carryover to the sleeved belt bounced squats, all while being pretty efficient with my energy, so it doesn't kill me like usual squats. And also it feels great for my knees, because in the past I also had a time where I had a bit of a problem with my patella tendon, and this variation helped me out of that. So it probably also is a good prehab exercise, you could say, or just maybe it's just about load management overall. But yeah, I like to have them in my week. And also on Saturday you will see the same in the front squat, and on Friday I do normal squats, so 4 squatting sessions per week. And on Friday I did my favorite complex with a snatch plus high hang snatch. Not only is this just a very fun way to do snatch doubles, I feel like in the hang snatch I can use my upper body better in the second pull, and focus more on that, while still having like practice from the floor in the first rep. And I decided to push it up to 120. And although it was kind of a grind, it was a pleasant surprise that I was able to do that in week 1. I think if I can push it in the next couple of weeks in the high 120s, it would be a good sign to hit a new snatch PR. And after that I did clean doubles. I don't know when the last time was that I did doubles in the clean. And yeah, I may have overshooted it a little bit. But I think the 145 actually was a PR. But on the second rep it really crashed on me. But was still able to secure it. And this training session was also a bit special because it was the first time that I trained with a subscriber who wrote me because he was in town. And yeah, he was a super nice guy, and it was a lot of fun to talk with him about weightlifting and content and so on. As I said, this is now the momentum set for Friday. So I will try to push this triple over the next couple of weeks. And honestly, the 180 were a bit slower than I hoped they would be. But yeah, we will just see how the next couple of weeks will feel like. And I followed that up with 3 sets of 5 with 165. Yeah, 5s is probably my favorite rep range. It just feels like the perfect mix of both worlds. You still accumulate a good amount of volume while still moving fairly heavy weight. It's just fun, it feels good. Yeah. On Saturday, I trained in the basement of my mom's house. I still have tons of gym equipment that I bought over the years there. Yeah, a full Eleiko plate set and some plates from the Soviet Union that you may notice from some Russian training hall videos when they train in all gyms there. And the Eleiko bar from my first YouTube video and a Eleiko XF bar. Yeah, and this is all in the basement of my mom's house because unfortunately I don't have space where I live to put all that. And a home gym, I always talk about a uncompromised home gym or a private gym or however, is actually the oldest dream or one of the longest dreams that I have in my life. And it's unfortunately very difficult to realize it because the housing prices here in Germany are absurd. And one day I will have a uncompromised home gym / private gym or just open my own gym. That would be so epic. But till then, it's all in the basement of my mom's house. Yeah, and for situations like this, it's still a great solution because my brother was visiting from Italy where he lives now, and we met at my mom's house, so I was still able to get my training in. As you saw, I did again no sleeve, no belt, paused front squats this time, 3 sets of 3, and then some high hang power cleans. The basement is also not very tall, so I can't do anything overhead. I originally also wanted to do some muscle snatches, but it was or it is what it is. And then I followed it up. I hung some rings in the stairway and did 5 sets close to failure, so around 8 to 12 reps were each set. And after that I did overhead press where I had to sit down with 70 kilos, 3 sets of 8, and that was then also enough for the day. Yeah, and then finally, after a super cold May here in Germany, the summer really began. And because my brother and his girlfriend were visiting, we decided to have a little barbecue. And it was also then for me a very good post-workout meal. I showed my brother my scooter that I bought because my car is making problems, and joked about how I can now join him when he drives his motorcycle. He just has to drive a little slower. I don't know why I filmed all of that, but yeah, that was the end of the training week. I hope you guys enjoy this series. I will try to actually upload every week on Sunday about the whole week, what went right, what went wrong. This first episode was a lot of talking because I thought I explain more about the training. But yeah, I will just try to stay it fresh because honestly the training will always be very similar. As you know, it's just snatch, clean and jerk, squats, maybe some pulls and accessories. But yeah, we will see us next Sunday, and have a good one.